I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Comics Are Awesome, brought to you by Alter Ego Comics for the week of August 9th, 2017. This is an interesting week for comics. There's a lot of really solid stuff, but for me, there was nothing that was the cream of the crop. So I don't have a pick this week. I have 3 books that I'm going to talk about that I really enjoyed and that I highly recommend, but I can't narrow it down to one. It sounds like a personal problem. So, one of the books that is brand new that I would like to recommend to you, and I'm going to rhyme everything. The Shadow, #1, again, published by Dynamite.
Again.
Written by Cy Spurrier and Dan Watters, art by Daniel HDR.
Cy Spurrier's so busy he can't write a book by himself anymore?
He is. How do you pronounce HDR?
Where?
HDR.
I assume that's Hader.
Hader. Bill Hader.
He's a hater.
Yes. Yeah, so I was talking before we started recording to Josh, and I don't know if it's my emotional connection to the Alec Baldwin Shadow.
I would watch the Adam Baldwin
Shadow.
movie,
I would
though.
too. He would be a great Shadow. Shadow movie that came out in the 90s, also starring Ian McKellen, and everyone's favorite guy, the guy from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, whose name
Tim Curry?
Tim Curry was in it, yes. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but I saw it when I was in high school. I thought it was kind of cool. I'd never been really exposed to the Shadow before, and it has just kind of stuck with me. It was Alec Baldwin. He was kind of at the height, his pre-Trump and pre-30 Rock height of popularity. And this takes place in present day, which is something that we don't see a lot of. And there are references to the Shadow being around for like 100 years. You know, that the Shadow was around in the 1920s and 30s. There are references to other comic book characters from other publishers in here. And I think it's a very...
References as comic book
Right,
characters.
as comic book
like,
characters. That I grew up reading, Captain America and Superman and Wonder Woman. So it's very firmly placed in our world, which I think is one of the things that makes it very cool. And it's a completely different approach to the Shadow, as far as I can tell. I've read a lot of Shadow #1s, and they just haven't stuck with me over the years.
They haven't stuck with anyone. That's why they keep making #1s.
Yes. The Shadow is a very interesting character. I just don't know if it's ever been done well enough and accessible enough to keep people on board. And this is a great start. If you've been hesitant to pick up a Shadow book, definitely check this one out. If you've been reading Batman the Shadow and that has kind of piqued your interest, this is the perfect time to jump into reading the Shadow. I truly enjoyed it. This is a teen plus book, so if you're a teen or plus, it's for you. And you liked it too.
I did enjoy it.
And it's rare that Josh likes the Shadow.
That's true. I'm not a huge fan. My pick of the week is Star Wars, Cassian and K2, Rogue One. This is a one-shot from Marvel written by Dwayne Straczynski with art by, let's say, Fernando Blanco. He was channeling Phil Noto in parts of this. Like, it's very...
I think every Star Wars artist channels Phil Noto to some degree, especially when it's the Rogue One or...
Yeah. So it is no secret that K2SO, as voiced by Alan Tudyk, it was one of my favorite parts of Rogue One, so I was super thrilled to get a comic origin. And basically, we get to see when Cassian met K2. We see a previous mission that happens before Rogue One, where Cassian encounters K2, and then we see the start of the reprogramming and the swaying of him. But it's fun, it's adventure-y, it's got everything I liked about Rogue One is present in this comic, and that is really all you can ask for in a adaptation or expansion or prequel comic. So, Star Wars fan, A+. Also, can we talk about how Queso never caught on as an abbreviation for K2SO? I think it should come back.
In the Southwest it has.
In the Southwest,
yes.
Yes. Or they like the bold flavors of K2SO and Albuquerque or somewhere. Also out this week from Star Wars is Dr. Aphra, still written by Kieran Gillen, still drawn by Kev Walker, and just really awesome. I never get tired of that book. And I get tired of
You never get tired
eventually.
of Star Wars.
That's true. I like Star Wars a lot.
The Marvel Star Wars books have been
very, very good.
Very, very
And we'll
good.
see if they can maintain that now that they're expanding a bunch of stuff coming out with Mace Windu and the Phasma prequel written by Kelly Thompson. That should be awesome.
So looking forward to that. Getting more than 91 seconds out of Captain Phasma. Should be written by an amazing writer.
That should be her autobiography. Captain Phasma, more than 91 seconds.
Yes. Next up for me is Inhumans, Once and Future Kings, #1, written by Christopher Priest, great writer that we don't see a lot of work from these days. Artwork by Phil Noto, your friend and mine, does a lot of Star Wars stuff. So it's no secret that Marvel is ramming the Inhumans down our throats. There's the Inhumans TV series, which is premiering in IMAX very soon, and then on ABC shortly after that. There was the kerfluffle that they weren't going to be publishing, that they didn't publish the X-Men for a while because they were kind of sticking it to 20th Century Fox, which may or may not be true. It's looking to be more true than not, especially when it comes to the Fantastic Four as well. So the Inhumans is being primed as front and center, Marvel Universe. These guys are important. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the Inhumans, this is a great jumping on point. The true history of the royal family revealed, which I don't know if I've ever seen before. Now, I'm not an expert on the Inhumans. They've been around for decades. And this is a great, in my opinion, introduction to these characters. You know, Black Bolt's in here, his crazy brother Maximus, who's not quite the Mad Maximus the Mad yet. What's wrong with my brain? The red-haired lady, Medusa. I'm like, I can't remember her name. Medusa's in here. Crystal's in here. Lots of folks in here, and it's an origin story, and it's done very well. And it caught me by surprise because normally I could give a rat's ass about the Inhumans.
Mark feels about the Inhumans the way I feel about the Shadow.
yeah. So it's surprising, and there is also Lockjaw is featured prominently on the cover because Lockjaw is arguably the coolest thing in the Inhumans. And then there's a great Lockjaw story by Ryan North of Adventure Time fame. Right?
And Squirrel Girl
and Dinosaur
and
other
comics.
things. Yes. A very cartoony thing with The Thing and Lockjaw. So, Inhumans, once their future kings, gets my recommendation this week, contrary to all reasonable logic, and I think you should totally check it out.
Christopher Priest does get some. I mean, isn't he doing Deathstroke right now? And he got nominated for.
Yeah, he got nominated for an Eisner. But
that's
before Deathstroke though, he did a little bit of Quantum and Woody, on the revival. But he originally did Quantum and Woody.
Didn't he do something in Marvel not that long ago? Didn't he do?
I don't know. He did Black Panther years ago.
Right.
When Black Panther really was first critically acclaimed.
I felt like there was another Priest book recently. Maybe not. Crazy person. Out on Marvel's got so many things, David. Generations is going on where we see a current character and a classic incarnation with the same name. So this week is the Phoenix, Jean Grey. So we get current time-displaced young Jean Grey in the past meeting adult non-time-displaced Jean Grey, who's currently possessor of the Phoenix. So you may know the issue number. This is when before Mastermind has messed with her, when she thinks the X-Men are dead. So where are we, ballpark?
Was this like after
210,
Giant Size 1? No. This was like early hundreds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because 100 is where Phoenix or 110 is where Phoenix comes back.
102, 101. I don't know.
Okay.
No,
so
the Dark Phoenix saga
ago.
is like 120 and change, 130 and change. So This is prior to that. This is the Krakatoa thing, right? Like the X-Men are dead because they.
No, because Jean was on Krakatoa.
I couldn't remember. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is post. This is definitely after all new or Giant Size. What the Giant Size?
Worth your time. Yeah.
Yes. And it's definitely after that.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jean Grey is in possession of the Phoenix power, so she's just ridiculously reality altering. I cannot talk today.
We're having problems,
right?
Technical difficulty. Let's blame it on technical
difficulty. Encryption.
Net neutrality.
But anyway, yes, net neutrality. Jean Grey Phoenix meets her old self, and it's really good. Written by Cullen Bunn, art by someone Silva, R.B. Silva. What book is he writing? Is he writing Blue?
Cullen Bunn is writing Blue.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I thought it was weird that it wasn't the Jean Grey writer, since most of the other ones are by, but since Jean's the lead, arguably, in Blue, too, that makes sense. So a lot of the drama in the book comes from young Jean Grey knowing what's going to happen, and she wants information, but she doesn't want to alter the timeline, which is ironic for somebody who's as screwed up timeline-wise as she is. And, she sees, for the first time, she sees Jean Grey as a person, not as this memory that everyone else has seen. And when you're talking about yourself in the future tense like that, it's very, very interesting. This is a sort of story that really only works with the X-Men because of the number of layers of things working in. You have to have that history to make it flow. But yeah, just really good, exciting. If you're a Jean Grey fan, this is where she is this week. Also, she's in Jean Grey, number 5, written by Dennis Hopeless. I don't know if Jean Grey is actually good, the comic, but it is so much fun. Every week there are jokes I laugh out loud at, or every month.
Well, then it must be good.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fun,
if the objective is to have fun, Jean Grey is excellent. I just don't know if Jean Grey is, it's not Hamlet.
I think that what Marvel is struggling with right now is the tone of their books, that so many are either tonally similar, tonally, like, way different, and it seems like the younger characters, the newer titles, are much lighter in tone than the older books. Like, Amazing Spider-Man this week is super heavy. I mean, there's jokes and stuff, but it's super heavy. Old Man Logan this week, super heavy. There's nothing humorous in Old Man Logan this week. But if you pick up, Jean Grey, Hawkeye, Unstoppable Wasp,
pour one on the curb.
Nova, Miles Morales, all of those have a lot of humor in them,
yeah,
where a lot of the adult superhero books don't.
And I would argue that they also have as much drama. I mean, like,
they do.
The Jean Grey is dealing with stuff, and Unstoppable Wasp, she was very up, but like the underlying story and stuff was dark, and Hawkeye is all weird and twisted,
it's handled
but
in
fun.
a great way that makes the books overall excellent.
Yeah, it's the same thing we get with like Age of Ultron. There's a lot of jokes and humor in there, but there's also the movie, not the comic. Sorry.
That comic was
it's that Joss Whedon line where it's funny and dramatic at the same time, and the younger heroes are definitely pulling that off better than the older heroes. Although I did love Old Man Logan and Amazing Spider-Man this week. They just weren't as fun.
Yeah, and I guess that's good. Variety.
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle number 1, this is the 800-pound gorilla. Well, kind of, sort of. Secret Empire's out this week, which I'll talk about in a minute. But on the DC side, I
don't know what you're talking about. Queso is the 800-pound gorilla.
I think, is there a gorilla in a comic this week? I think Mr. Miracle is the book to buy this week at DC Comics. It is apparently a 12-issue miniseries written by Tom King, who also writes Batman.
That's his sweet spot. Vision was 12 issues. Sheriff of Babylon's been 12 issues so far.
Won the Eisner for Vision for Best Limited Series or Best New Series or Best Android Series. I don't remember what it was. So, Mr. Miracle. Scott Free. I was trying to remember his name. Scott Free. He's a new god. He's been around for a long time. And another character who's never really gotten his due. Hopefully he gets his due here. This is artwork by Mitch Gerads. Did they collaborate on Sheriff of Babylon? Was that their jam?
I'm not sure. It's possible.
Okay. So if you haven't read Tom King's Sheriff of Babylon, that's really what made him hit the scene here. Creator-owned independent work from some publisher that I don't remember.
Is it Image?
Because my brain is broke. It might be. I think it's
Vertigo? Yeah, actually, the cover stock, it looks like
so
Vertigo.
Mr. Miracle is a great looking comic. It is rated M for mature, so it is not for everybody.
That it is.
And I got those telling Josh before we started rolling here. I got the same vibe off Mr. Miracle number 1 that I kind of got off Jeff Lemire's Moon Knight number 1. You don't really know what's going on, but the storytelling is great, the artwork is great, and you want to read more. And that is what I can say about Mr. Miracle. It's not a cut-and-dried Jack Kirby-style story. It's not a Jeff Johns style story. It's a Tom King story with multiple layers, and it packs a wallop. So Mr. Miracle is absolutely worth your time and money this week. Did I mention he writes Batman? Tom King?
He writes Batman.
Yeah.
The current awesome Batman.
Yeah.
He wrote awesome to the extreme Batman Elmer Fudd.
Yes.
It is Vertigo. Why doesn't it tell me who the penciler is? Art by, Mr. Rod. So the same team from Sheriff of Babylon. And I may be wrong. I know it was 2 trades, but they may be 5-issue trades, so it might not be 12 issues.
I would have preferred Sheriff of Babylon 5.
Oh. I would have watched that.
Yes.
Or read it. Either one. Somebody get on that. Last up for me, as Mark mentioned, the other big thing this week is Secret Empire number 8, written by Nick Spencer, art by Daniel Acuna, and is Rod Reese a penciler? We'll say he is.
No, there are multiple artists.
There's so many pencilers.
Acuna
but there's also different stories.
Acuna does the lion's share of the pencils here.
Secret Empire continues to be amazing. I have no complaints. I'm amazed that Marvel's put out a event this long and this good. Which is sort of, I guess, a backhanded compliment, but they're doing a good job now, so good work, guys. Also out this week, Captain America 25, written by Nick Spencer with art by Jesus Saez. And the reason I mention these in concert is, other than they're both written by Nick Spencer and they're both about Secret Empire, you want to read Captain America 25 first and then Secret Empire. And if you're also reading Secret Warriors, it slots in between the two. So you Captain America, Secret Warriors, and then Secret Empire. It's awesome. It's exceptionally great. I have
What are we talking about?
both.
Okay.
They're all. I mean, it's really like if at the end of the day, I'm never going to remember what happened in Captain America and what happened in Secret Empire. It's the same story. It's just fleshed out.
It's like issue 7.5 of Secret Empire, and in that regard, it's pretty much essential. I wish we would have known that when we were ordering, because Captain America sells about half or a little less than half of what Secret Empire sells for us.
Yeah. And this is Captain America 25, not
this
Captain
merges
America,
the two
Sam
Captain
Wilson,
America
not
titles.
Yes.
This is the end of both of those titles.
That's my understanding, yes.
Yes. And again, is essential to the Secret Empire number 8 story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's essential. I can't argue that.
So we'll try to get some more. If we're out, we apologize. Blame Marvel for not telling retailers anything.
Secret Empire doesn't have enough issues yet. 10 plus an Omega. We got to put a 7.5.
Plus Omega, really? I'm with you. I mean,
it's good.
I really like it too, but I don't want to see us start treading water as we get towards the finish line. That now we've got 2 more regular issues plus Omega.
Right. Yeah. I think Omega's more Fallout. I would hope.
I would home too.
I'm at home.
Yeah. But just while we have 2 seconds, we have gotten a chance to get a sneak peek at the upcoming Generations books. Did you read them?
I have not.
Okay, I've read them all. So I will tell you that Generations Thor is the best of the bunch. They're all very
Aaron,
enjoyable.
Right?
Yeah, Jason Aaron writes it. And it is top notch and features a little kind of sneak peek into the Avengers 1 million or 1,000 BC, whatever it is. The original Avengers that have suddenly become a thing that we'll find in Marvel Legacy number 1. So lots of solid stuff this week. It's a great week to go to the comic shop. So hit up your LCS if that's us. We hope to see you real soon. Otherwise, we'll see you right back here next week.